What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Travis. Ollie here. I've been supplied with my dad's Thrustmaster T300 and SF1000 wheel while I wait for mine to arrive. And this is good because it's week 13 and there's lots of fun to be had here today on iRacing. And I am slapping my knee, my thigh even, at how exciting this is. To be honest, there's a lot of really interesting races. Today's video, I'm just going to be doing some laps around Spa in a Super Formula car, which is one of the new cars that I'm going to be checking out in this video. We're about to do that now. And then later on in the video, we're going to be checking out one lap around the Nordschleife. And that is going to be in the Ferrari 296, the brand new one, the one that I've kind of waited for a while to even get a pretty good idea of. Driven it in ACC, but the force feedback's terrible in ACC. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get on with the video. Please watch to the end and give me your thoughts on the brand new cars as well. So, yeah, let's go. That move is done. From a long way back. Let's go! What the hell? Okie dokie, so this is the brand new Super Formula car. This is my FOV. You can kind of see off to my left and right hand side. There's my... Shut up, Jim. Kaitos. Let's go. Anyway, new wheels there. We got the wheel now. I don't have my Race Labs dash up on the screen. Now, I actually was racing Spa when I tested this car out just before, so I kind of know a little bit about it.
Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour.
All right, we got...
All clear. Push now.
Okay. I think I know this raceway. I do. Now we're just going to push really quite slowly. Oh, I don't know that. Whoa. Whoa. I did not see him. Okay. So I was driving this car at Spa just beforehand. Don't know this track, so we're not going to push. But something I really noticed is downforce is a bit strange. It kind of just does its thing, I suppose is the way to say. When you're at full throttle, it seems to... It's a bit tricky. I think it's a technique type of car. And I'm a big technique kind of driver, I think. But I just don't have a great technique. Downforce cars are not necessarily my favourite cars to watch in terms of the racing, but in terms of driving, they certainly always have been some of my favorite cars. Now this is a different format to this track that I have not driven once. Locked up the tyre there, the left front, because I just wanted to get it stopped. I was doing quite well at Spa, topped the timesheets. So, I don't know if that really means much, but there was A-class drivers in there, so I'll say it does. Alright, let's see if we can get a bit of a run going, although I still don't know the track. But yeah, all I'm here to do is basically just give you guys a bit of a look at these new cars. I bought them. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing a race with this car at least until the season kind of gets underway on Tuesday. Yeah, I knew I carried too much speed in there, but I caught it. There we go. And that's the thing I really like about this car is you can catch your slides. It's very forgiving. Something I noticed at least when I was driving Spa. Now as you can tell, I'm really going quite slow, but at Spa I was pushing it a lot more, and I could say it's really fun to push. You'll definitely have your little snaps of oversteer. A decent amount. I feel like it is a bit of an oversteery car if you know, have a technique, I suppose, that would drive it that way. Knock the tyre again. It's a tricky car to drive. I wasn't really locking up beforehand. I'm just kind of going really slowly, trying to get a grip to this track and not make myself look like a fool.
The leader's just done a 115.8.
I think we did a 130, so that... Oh, well, I was not pushing at all. Anyway, as you guys can kind of tell, get on the throttle, just spin. So we're back out. And like I was just kind of talking about beforehand, well, it's like that. Those moments happen a lot, especially when you're driving on the bare limit. Like I said, I topped the timesheets at the Spa practice session. There were some A-class drivers in there. I'm definitely not an A-class driver, and there was a lot of spinning. So I feel like this car is definitely one of my favourites in iRacing now. The ones I've driven, 86 was really good, but is this better than the 296? I'll talk about it when we get to driving the 296. But this is a massive win for iRacing to put this car in here. It's a fantastic series. Driver such a Kamui Kobayashi. Okay, Kamui. Kamui Kobayashi, Liam Lawson, and lots of other, international drivers, as well as, a lot of Japanese drivers. Fantastic series, and I think everyone in iRacing is going to bring a lot more awareness to the series as well. So, in terms of that. Now, I am no expert when it comes to driving new cars, I suppose. But yeah, I can kind of tell what happens with the car and how different it is to other cars. To the Formula V car, and I haven't driven a Skippy yet, but I will. This is much more fun. I really, really enjoy this car. Locked up a little bit. The thing I do like about it, though, is I think some cars, when you lock up, it's really unforgiving. So if we can take it flat through here, easy.
Fastest lap for Kato, 1:15.6.
So the 15s, I feel like I could get there, but I'm not pushing at the moment. I'm just trying to talk to you guys. But yeah, genuinely, in terms of a car, this car is fantastic. And in terms of a race car, I feel like this is going to actually cause some serious carnage. I feel like people are just going to be a bit silly with them. What had he just done?
Car right. Right side's clear.
Oh, he's got bad internet. Oh, that's not ideal. My verdict of the car, lots of carnage in races, but lots of fun. I have not driven one of these cars in real life, surprisingly. Wow. So I can't say how realistic it is. And if people are saying, oh yeah, this feels really realistic, it's tricky to know. I want to hear it from a driver like Liam Lawson, from someone like Kamui Kobayashi. I want to hear it from them. But in terms of a race car, this is the first time I've ever spun in this car as well, just for the record. Yeah, it's just because it's a bit of a tricky track and I'm probably just being a bit silly. In terms of a car for racing and in terms of a car that just as a car in iRacing, super duper fun to drive. I genuinely can't wait for the series to start. Like, I hope it's...
Sector 1 is 3.0.
If I don't have access to this car when the season properly starts...
The car in front's lap time is a 1:18.3.
Yeah, I could definitely get there, but we're not trying to do anything to do with lap times. And what I try and do is I'll just try and steer it into the corner a little bit more. Because that's how I personally would tell if the downforce is there. And
Sector 2 is 3.4.
it is actually genuinely quite... I mean, obviously these cars are relatively grippy. But look at that rear wing, you know. Knock up. But yeah, these are actually genuinely quite grippy cars. But then also sometimes they're not. Like, it's like anything when it comes to driving downforce cars. It's like... I don't know, how much grip do you have in the rear end? And I'm still trying to work it all out.
You've just done a 124.5.
My verdict of this car, I personally quite like it. I personally think it's exciting. Personally, if you got triples, the sensation of speed is really, really cool. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it a lot. It's, yeah, certainly something that I'll be doing quite a bit of. I think I won't be doing anything in week 13 with it, I don't think. But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10,
The guy in front has just done a 120.0.
solid 7.5, because a 10 is perhaps the car we're about to go look at. So, what is he doing? Okay, well, a fantastic way to end. You're all good, fella. Let's on to the 296. Okay, so this is the new Ferrari 296 GT3 car, and I think you get a discount. I really don't know how much this actually is. I think it's just normal price. I don't know, because we bought another car, the 488, which is very cool, but I didn't enjoy driving it nearly as much as the 296. What we're going to do, we're going to try and just do one lap around the Nordschleife, and I'm just going to talk about it like I do. So again, don't expect any immaculate pace at all. And like I said last time, we did a bit of spinning. If that car was 7.5, what car is this car going to be? I'll give you my opinions. Now, just to be clear, I haven't played iRacing for as long as many other people on YouTube and many other sim races, but I have been sim racing for 6 years, so I kind of get an idea of what car I'm looking at very, very quickly. I suppose, just in my opinion, that's kind of what I feel I can do. And if you feel you can do that as well, I'm sure your opinion is going to be 10 times different to my opinion on each car. That's just the way I'm always talking from my opinion. And I also forgot to say that I was also going to be recommending, do you buy this car or do you not buy this car? The last car, I'd definitely recommend buying it. Anyway, I recommend buying it because it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fantastic racing series. This car, do I recommend buying it? Well, you got to stick around for me to give my opinions first. So anyway.
Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour.
Cheers, Jim.
Pit exit's clear.
Out we go. On to the mighty Nordschleife. So this is a very different car to the one we just drove. And I prefer driving GT3 cars, although I'm faster with downforce cars in a way. I'll be more competitive in a downforce car. At the moment. I'm still working on that. So yeah, you walk out, you drive out the garage, pit lane. And yeah, very fun, easy to drive, sounds fantastic. Yeah, really, really nice sound. I was doing some pretty okay laps. I never really, all out laps, lol. But yeah, this car is one of my favourites, I think, to drive now. I drove the Porsche Cup car as well, and this I enjoy driving more than that. Now, I'm not very fast around the Nordschleife. It's definitely a difficult task to be fast around the Nordschleife. And don't pay any attention, but this car, in terms of GT car, it's very grippy. Very grippy. And that's what I like about it. I think it's very ideal race car. A car that I certainly enjoy driving. Car certainly like a series, even the Ferrari GT series is a series that I'll be definitely doing a bit of. Now, week 13 is something I don't know if I was a part of. I've definitely watched a lot of week 13 over the last 4 years, really. I never really felt like I had the right skill to play iRacing up until probably a few months ago. But what I say with this car, it's so much easier to talk about downforce cars because they behave differently. GT cars, things will have their differences. The way I can say this is just, you're going to have so much fun with this car. You buy it and it just opens up. A new world of opportunities. A new series, the Ferrari GT series, is going to be 10 times better with the 296 than the 488. That's for sure. What I have used this car a little bit. Did some laps with it. Oops. Probably showed a bit too much speed. Did some laps with it beforehand, and immediately, my general reaction was, wow, this is good. This is a fantastic little beast of a machine. And what I will be doing is a couple videos. The video of this one will probably come out after my Monday video that I'm planning. Is to do a race around the Nordschleife, just see what happens. I haven't done it before, so just experience it, and it's all in week 13, so it doesn't matter as much as it has in the past. That's for sure. Probably should have exited in second gear, but that's fine. This car, it has what I've found a bit of occasionally very, how do you say? I was going to say a twitchy back end, but I feel like that's just the way I kind of generally drive it. You know what I mean? It hasn't got those kind of traits. It kind of goes where you want it to go. I've definitely had a few oversteer moments with it and understeer. It is, I think, on the understeerier side. Genuinely, maybe. It's tricky because it feels like how a GT car should feel. Carousel. Let me be really gentle on exit of carousel. That's what I've learnt. People are so fast with the Nordschleife. I am not one of those. I know the track relatively well. I just don't know how to drive it fast. I think that, let me put it this way. It is on the easier side of a car to drive. I believe that it definitely has ABS. Let me actually hold it. Let me test that real quick. Let me test my theory of ABS. Yeah, it does. So, yeah. Easier side to drive. I mean, GT cars have ABS. What am I on about? I'm just trying to concentrate and talk about two different things. This versus the Porsche Cup car. To drive and enjoy driving a little bit more, probably this, because again you have got those little, I don't know, things that about this are a lot easier. The Porsche Cup car, no ABS. This versus other GT cars, I've only driven the 488 in iRacing, but in compared to other games, this would still be up there with the one that I'd enjoy driving the most. I've always kind of enjoyed the Ferraris because they're in games, genuinely, they have been the easiest cars to drive. And that's just, I suppose, how they work. And that's honestly a good thing about this car, is it is an easier car to drive. So, like, it's the first series people recommend, and I probably, as a newer iRacing player, would recommend very much the same, to go and do the Ferrari GT3 series after you get out of rookies. You're going to find, for me, this car, if you hop out of the rookies category, which I did relatively recently, with the MX-5s, you are going to notice that this is 10 times easier to drive. And I'm worried, for at least me, that if I was driving this just using all the assists, I suppose, that this car's got, I would lose a lot of my technique, to say the least. But yeah, I feel like to drive this thing really won't disappoint for me. I think it's literally, I'm going to say it now, it is a 10 out of 10 car in terms of everything that I would want in a car, you know. It's a GT3 car. Everyone loves GT3 cars. I love watching GT World Challenge, and driving one of the GT cars, for me, is very exciting. Would I recommend going and buy this vehicle? If you've got the extra $12 to spend, yes, I would. If you've got the money to spend on this machine, yes, go ahead and buy it. I can't really talk about the traits from this car because it's generally just a GT3 car. What else do you want me to say here? Absolutely fantastic car. Both of them. Fantastic update. Okay. So both of these cars that I've tested out, both the Ferrari 296, which was just a fantastic car. I love everything about it. And I think the cool thing is I got to test it out with the SF1000 rim. So kind of like it's Ferrari, I suppose, which is kind of always really cool. And then even this same thing for the rim, I suppose, a Formula style rim with the Super Formula cars. Now, what I'm going to say, if I was to choose one of those categories to race for an entire, I suppose, 4 months, isn't it, for iRacing season, I would definitely choose the Ferrari because I feel like there's a lot more variety. I feel like even a bit of I feel like there's still going to be lots of carnage in Ferrari, but I feel like the carnage is going to be 10 times higher with all of the Super Formula cars, because I suppose at the same time, a lot of the newer players will come drive the Ferraris, and a lot of the more experienced players will drive the Super Formula cars. So if you don't want carnage, I don't know. For my prediction, I feel like there'll be more carnage in the Super Formula a little bit over the 296. In terms of driving style, the Super Formula is a bit of a snappy car, but its grip levels are generally probably a smidge, when I think about it, lower than what I was expecting. It is a downforce car. I kind of expect it, but at Spa, those kinks and turns, I still found myself lifting because it was just drift wide a little bit. I mean, it's not a Formula 1 car, but yeah, the sensation of speed in the Super Formula cars, absolutely nuts. You're going to love that, especially if you've got triples. And it's just overall a fantastic car to drive. If you're driving specifically the 296, sensation of speed is the same as you get in pretty much any other GT car. Perfect car to drive. It kind of put it where you want it to go, and you might have a snap or two. I certainly have had snaps in this car, but it's not a snappy car. When I think of a snappy car, I think, okay, I'm going to put it in this corner, it's going to go, and it's going to counter steer, and then you push it back into the corner. This car's more of a one snap, sometimes mid-corner, at least for the 296, and that doesn't even happen that often. It's a very easy car to drive, and I really, really like it. It's a 10 out of 10 car. Sounds perfectly fantastic. It sounds exactly the way it should. Like, generally, I prefer iRacing sounds to ACC. People very much can disagree with me with that, but yeah, I feel like you listen to that car, it sounds absolutely fantastic. In terms of Super Formula car sound, I feel like it's what you expect from a Super Formula car. Same thing as GT car. I suppose they're just kind of sounds when it comes to the end of it, but you know, I'm here to review and look at both of these brand new vehicles they have put into iRacing. Like I said, I'm new to iRacing, but I get excited about new content. I'm absolutely obsessed with this game and play it a lot. Although I'm still not as fast as I would like to be, I'll get there, and that is the whole point. In my opinion, as a relatively newcomer to iRacing, not to sim racing and this whole hobby, I would probably, coming out of rookies, I don't even think you're going to have the ability to drive the Super Formula car. I don't even know if I would be able to drive it in a category, but I know at least for the 296, I feel like you can rely more on the 296 to the 488 in terms of it's going to catch you a little bit more. Like I said, the 488, I'd have way more snaps mid-corner. I didn't say this actually, but I did have a lot more snaps with the 488, kind of going to the corner and it would snap, and sometimes I'd end up there to try and catch it. That's not going to happen, at least go to there to catch it as much as you would with the 488. You're not going to, you're going to have moments, yeah, because it's racing, but it's going to catch you a bit more. Is what I'm going to say with the 488, 296, sorry. Super Formula car, really, really excited. Happy I got to drive it. 296, I'm going to do a lot of driving in that car. Anyway, guys, see you guys on Monday for a brand new Porsche Cup racing video. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the brand new season. Thanks for watching. Come back for more, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory.